Hello everyone, thank you very much for watching my previous video. In our current video, I'm going to talk about the self-help industry and the toxic motivation. So what happens that there is a constant voice telling us that you are not enough. You need to improve your life. You need to get more money. You need to get more successful. And you always want to shut this voice. You want to tell them that I am not a failure, I am a success. So what you do in such scenario? You actually look for help, and when you're looking for help, you go to self-help industry, you go to motivation gurus. Now it can be Robbins, it can be Sharma, it can be Qasim Ali Shah, it can be anyone, but what they do, they play with your insecurities. They tell you, why don't you change? Try to get some good diet, try to wake up early, try to go to bed early, and there are so many other things that they constantly tell you, but in different modes. And by following these continuous motivated gurus and following their lectures, participating in their seminars, going to their workshops, listening to them on the podcast, maybe radio, what happens that this insecurity keep developing. And what actually happens is that they tell you start following this routine. So there is MJ DeMarco, he has written a book, Unscripted. In this book, he talks about action faking. So what's action faking? Action faking is I am supposed to be someone, and after some time I'll become like that. For example, if you start dressing like a CEO, you will become a CEO. If you start eating like a sportsman, you will become a sportsman. If you start behaving like a professional, you will become a professional. So these are all those things that are categorized in Unscripted book by MJ DeMarco, and he says about action faking. So what happens when we start doing these fake things? We know inside of us that I'm not achieving any progress. But when I listen to them, I keep on getting this motivation. Oh, I can do something. I can really do something. But actually, there's no progress. So here's a first warning that you do not actually need motivation gurus and self-care. These motivation gurus and self-help industry, what are they doing? They are adding value. That's what we perceive, that they are adding value to my life, my work ethics, my work structures. There are so many things that they are adding value to, but are they really adding value? So here's a fact check. $11.4 billion is the industry right now, and it is expected to be 14 billion US dollar by 2025. So there is someone getting profit from this self-help industry, but you are actually emptying your pockets. So what we need to do, like, is there something that I really need to do? I really need to look forward to? Yes. I need to understand that who is actually giving value, adding value into my life, and it is productive, and he is not keeping me hooked. Because what happens in motivation is that someone motivates you, giving you the example of Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and you get high on this motivation because there's dopamine into play. Dopamine is constantly telling you that, oh, this is very nice. I need something like that. So you are getting high on it. So it's addictive. Motivation itself is not bad. Motivation is actually very good. But what it does to your body when you are used to of it, it becomes addictive, and it's not good. So what's happening here? We are constantly taking the dose of dopamine. Whenever I get down on the motivation, I go to this lecture, I go to this workshop, I go to this book, and I start reading it, and I feel like, wow, I feel so good about this book. Why I did not think about it before? So here comes another thing. This is a vicious cycle. You get high on the motivation and you realize there is no progress. You get back to it. oh, I'm not motivated anymore. So what will happen? You try to look for some motivation, and then from following this book, using this new lecture, you get back to where it started. So it's a vicious cycle, and you are into this cycle. What can be done about it? What we should do about it? Do we have a way out? Yes, we need to identify who is the motivator, which is the book, which is the publisher that is actually not addictive, that is actually adding value to what I really believe into. And surely, if you think, like for example, if I think that I can become an Instagram influencer and I started working on it, they keep on telling you, keep working on it, but when they are constantly telling you, they are actually getting you to come back to them when you fail. And when you go back to them, you give them some money. No matter in which form you are paying, but you are giving them the money. And when you are paying them, they are constantly telling you, try again. You are failing, you are unsatisfied, you are dissatisfied, you are uncontented, you are very unhappy. This is best for the business. So identify the people who are actually adding value to you, and they are not hooking you on dopamine and motivation. This is the toxic positivity, this is the toxic motivation, and this is actually not good, because you will realize sooner or later that you've been fallen trapped into this vicious cycle. So the way to get out of it is to identify that what is it that actually works for you. I started following these motivating gurus, and what happens that it helped me fix my routine, waking up early, hitting the bed early, getting to the healthy diet. But I was repeatedly going back to them, but after a certain time I realized this is not good for me. So what I did, I have selected some of the self-help authors and publishers. Carol Dweck on Mindset is one of the awesome author on Mindset. Grit by Angela is one of the best book I've come across. MJ DeMarco's book of Unscripted, The Power of Now, again are these books that are not putting you on the hook. They are not addictive. They are telling you, they are giving you the way out. So select the authors, select the mediums, select those channels and platforms that are actually not getting you hooked. If you are getting hooked to something, it is bad and it is not doing any good to you. So beware of that. That's it for my today's video. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care.